A man sat in the cockpit of a massive Alaska Airlines aircraft, an aircraft he stole and was operating illegally. From the air traffic control tower, a controller tried his best to convince the man to land the aircraft. However, the man was atypically calm, as if he'd already accepted his fate before it was to happen. This was by his design, and whether the controller realized it or not, there was only one way this story would end. This story is the brief reign of the Sky King. The aircraft in this story was a de Havilland -8-400, owned by Horizon Air and operated by Alaska Airlines, registered as November 449 Quebec X-ray, and built by Bombardier Aviation in 2012. It had landed at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport at 1:13 p.m. Pacific Time on the afternoon of August 10, 2018, after an in-service flight from Victoria, British Columbia. It was not scheduled to fly again that day, but yet it would. In today's story, we only have one victim, a man named Richard Russell, a Horizon Air ground service agent from Sumner, Washington. He had been part of a tow team which repositions aircraft on the airport apron for about 4 years prior to this incident. He was described as, quote, a quiet guy who was, quote, well-liked by the other workers. During the final flight, Russell complained to air traffic controllers about wages, stating, quote, minimum wage, we'll chalk it up to that. Maybe that will grease some gears a little bit with the higher-ups. However, Russell would also go on to say he had, quote, a few screws loose, meaning he was more than likely facing a mental health crisis that he was unable to recover from on his own. If you or a loved one is struggling, you are not alone. If you are in the United States, please do not hesitate and immediately call Lifeline Services at 988 or 1-800-273-8255. You are loved, you are important, and you deserve a fighting chance. On August 10, 2018, the aircraft was stolen from Plane Cargo 1 at the north end of SeaTac Airport and maneuvered to runway 16C via taxiways. Seattle Tower tried several times to get the pilot of the aircraft to identify himself, but received no response. A nearby Alaska Airlines jet on the ground reported that the aircraft began a takeoff roll with its wheels smoking, and an unauthorized takeoff was made at 7:32 p.m. In response, 2 McDonnell Douglas F-15C Eagles of the Oregon Air National Guard's 142nd Fighter Wing under the command of NORAD were scrambled around 8:15 p.m. Pacific from Portland Air National Guard Base to intercept it. Both were armed with AIM-9 Sidewinder and AIM-120 AMRAAM air-to-air missiles and reached supersonic speeds, which generated sonic booms on the way to the Puget Sound area. A KC-135R Stratotanker refueling tanker was also scrambled from Fairchild Air Force Base to support the F-15 flight. Flights in and out of SeaTac Airport were temporarily suspended. SeaTac ATC maintained radio contact with the occupant. The transmissions were quickly recorded and posted on social media websites. Russell, the pilot, said he was, quote, a broken guy, just got a few screws loose, I guess. Never really knew it until now. When ATC suggested he land the plane at Joint Base Lewis McChord, Russell refused, saying, quote, those guys will rough me up if I try and land there. I think I might mess something up there, too. I wouldn't want to do that. He asked ATC if he could get a job with Alaska Airlines if he successfully landed the aircraft. ATC said, quote, they would give you a job doing anything if you could pull this off. To which he replied, yeah, right. Nah, I'm a white guy. He spoke of wanting to do, quote, a couple of maneuvers to see what the aircraft can do, and requested the coordinates of an orca that had been brought to national attention, saying, I want to go see that guy. He stated that he did not want to hurt anyone, and in the final minutes of the communication, apologized to his friends and family. Near the end of the flight, he executed a barrel roll over Puget Sound, approximately 10 feet above the water. A veteran pilot said the maneuver, quote, seemed pretty well executed, without either stalling or pulling the wings off. Incredibly, he only had experience in video games flying, and was not a licensed pilot. When an air traffic controller requested he land the plane after this, he said, I don't know, I don't want to. I was kinda hoping that was gonna be it, you know? He added that he wasn't really planning on landing it, insinuating he was planning on crashing and dying that way. The 2 F-15s attempted to direct the aircraft toward the Pacific Ocean and did not fire at it. The Q-400 ultimately crashed at 8:43 p.m. local time on Ketron Island in Puget Sound, Pierce County, Washington, killing Russell and destroying the aircraft. A towboat crew was the first to respond. Delayed by the need to wait to catch the Stillicum-Anderson Island ferry, firefighters from West Pierce Fire and Rescue and other nearby departments arrived on the island about an hour and a half after the crash, where they then contended with the island's thick brush. The fire burned a 2-acre area, but it was extinguished by the following morning. No injuries were reported to the residents of the sparsely populated island, even though the crash site was close to at least one cabin, which was occupied at the time of the incident. On November 9th, the FBI stated it had completed its investigation. Terrorism was ruled out, and Russell was found to have acted alone. The final descent at Ketron Island was determined to be intentional, and suicide was declared the manner of Russell's death. The FBI stated, quote, "Interviews with work colleagues, friends, and family, and review of text messages exchanged with Russell during the incident identified no information suggesting the theft of the aircraft was related to wider criminal activity or terrorist ideology. Although investigators received information regarding Russell's background, possible stressors, and personal life, no element provided a clear motivation for Russell's actions." With many people suffering from mental health issues or undergoing an active crisis, there aren't always signs. It's a great reminder to be kind to those around you, hug your loved ones just a bit tighter, and always keep resources at your fingertips. There is no shame in needing help, only in needing it and refusing to make changes in your life. Again, if you need help and you are in the United States, dial 988 to reach a Lifeline crisis counselor. In the days following the crash, cleanup and recovery crews contracted by Alaska Airlines and its insurers removed debris from the island. The cleanup continued into 2019 but has since concluded. Residents of the island bore some cleanup costs, and negotiations were initiated for the reimbursement by Alaska Airlines insurers. The aircraft was worth $30 million, which was paid under the company's insurance policy with no deductibles. Videos and radio transmissions of the event were widely followed online, immediately sparking a meme, with people dubbing Russell the Sky King. People expressed an emotional connection with him as seen through postings on social media, t-shirts, and tribute songs. According to Rolling Stone magazine, he has become a folk hero in the years following the incident. On April 14, 2022, the FBI released over 500 pages of documents related to the investigation. While I do not condone Richard Russell's actions as they were incredibly reckless and endangered others, I do have great empathy for the struggle that he was facing just below the surface. It's a struggle that can be unseen until it's too late, and leaves behind a wake of devastation for the family and friends left behind. Rest in peace to Richard Russell, and may his family and friends find peace. And for everyone listening, you are not alone. I care, I'm here for you, and there is always, always a second chance. Be safe, take care of yourselves, and know you are so loved.